Cortana, can you beatbox?
No, I can't. No, no, I can't. Can't. No, I
No,
can't.
I
No, no, I
can't.
can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. No, no, I
Okay.
can't.
I can work
No,
with
I
this. We
can't.
can
No,
jam
no,
for
I
sure.
can't.
We
No, I
can do
can't.
it.
Shh, 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 shh.
Oh, she was lying. She did at the end. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Cortana, can you beatbox?
No, I can't. No, no, I can't. No, I can't. No, no, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. No, no, I can't. No, I can't. No, no, I can't. No, I can't.
Maybe she can't beatbox. She can sure jam.
What's going on here?
Hey guys, oZealous here, and today I've teamed up with Microsoft Surface along with a lot of other YouTubers to kind of share my story with you of how I got to where I am right now. I'm sure that there are a lot of you going into senior year in high school or maybe even your first year in college, and you might be a little nervous of kind of where you want to go or where you're heading or what you want to be in life, and that's totally okay. That's totally fine that you don't know. That's why I'm sharing my story with you. Life definitely has this zigzag path. I definitely didn't want to, you know, or have this envision of being this beatbox YouTuber. I was wanting to go to school and have a kind of traditional career. So, taking these turns and not knowing what you want to do or what you want to be is totally fine. And, it's not a bad thing. And in fact, it could even kind of shape who you are or who you're going to be, taking that path and kind of figuring out what you want to do and what you love. Hopefully my story kind of reassures you that it's going to be okay and inspires you to really find out what you want to do in life, because only you can really define what your future is. To start off my story, I figured there's no better place than when I first was introduced to beatboxing, which was back in 2007. I was a seventh grader in junior high, and one of my teachers, Mr. Williams, by the way, is his name. He was my U.S. history teacher, and he did a simple beatbox at his desk. And I looked back at him, and I was like, what was that? I want to learn that. And so ever since that day, I just looked up on YouTube what beatboxing is, and I kind of just fell in love with it. It was a hobby and it was a passion at the same time. I just grew to really love it. Now, going into high school, I had a couple of years experience of beatboxing, and my freshman year, I had a principal that was also a beatboxer, which is a crazy coincidence and probably even still influenced me even more to keep beatboxing and made me want to keep doing it. Since my principal is a beatboxer, he held this beatbox competition every year, the students versus him. There was just this competition. And so none of my friends, or a very select few of my friends, knew that I beatboxed at this time. But I've been in it for, been doing it for a couple of years at this point. And I was super nervous to really show people beatboxing, but I signed up and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. It's totally fine. I'll be all right. I think I'm good enough, and we'll give it a try. I ended up signing up for this competition. Me, freshman, it's my first year of high school, putting an impression on most of my class or even other higher classes. A lot of students were there watching. I was super nervous. And then I come to realize that I'm the only freshman that signed up. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I was freaking out. I was probably the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life, including YouTube, where I'm putting out videos for hundreds of thousands of people out here. There was an auditorium of maybe 100 people, and I was very, very scared. I went up there super nervous, didn't really know what I was going to do. I was just freestyling a little bit for like a minute, 60, 90 seconds or something like that. And the crowd's reaction was crazy. They absolutely loved it. I was known from then on that I was the beatboxing kid, and that they haven't really heard a beatboxing like that. And to remind you, this was 8 years ago. So I wasn't that good. I wasn't like super good at beatboxing, not to like where I am today for sure. But you know, it was that's probably like the first initial kind of, I don't know, kind of, now that I think about it, it's kind of like what I do on YouTube now is I get reactions of people hearing beatboxing like that. And a lot of them are, you know, they haven't heard beatboxing like that before. And this was like basically the very first time I ever did anything beatbox for anyone was at this beatbox competition in my high school. And so I ended up winning. I beat my principal, and it was amazing. It was probably the best feeling ever. I went home. I was super proud of myself. I wanted to beatbox even more. It was an amazing, amazing day. By the way, there's a video out on YouTube that I'm sure a lot of you don't or haven't seen, and it's actually me beatboxing with my principal. It's not that competition when I was a freshman, but it was when I was a senior in high school, and we were at the community center, and they were doing, he's in an a cappella group, and I ended up going there, and he called me down, and so we can beatbox together, or against each other, really. So I'm gonna hop on the laptop here since my computer is being used to record, and we are going to check out this video of me beatboxing with my principal. So let's hop onto that. All right, so I'm just laughing by just like looking at me. I totally thought I was the coolest kid ever in high school, I guess, for beatboxing. I knew that I was gonna beatbox this day, so I'm wearing my beanie with a bill backwards, got the matching white sunglasses. Look at the way I'm holding the microphone. That is hilarious. Let's start the video. Okay, let's pause the video right there. I'm surprised with how I was doing. This was senior year though, so I had like 5 years of beatboxing. It's still decent. It's not like super crazy clean like how I beatbox now. But it is just funny to watch. And now I think I'm doing the throat kicks. I know a lot of you guys love the throat kicks that I do, and so I was doing it back then still. So let's see. I can't wait to see what else I have. Oh, I remember this. This is the double mic here. Kind of like a disrespect kind of thing in a battle. Like, yo, bro, give me your mic. I'm this good. I need your mic too. So I'm doing this heartbeat that I'm walking up, and I'm doing this heartbeat with my throat, which you can double up now. And so when you beatbox into a mic just by itself, it's very hard to get throat kicks in there. And so this is why I kind of took this double mic and try to do a little beat. From what I remember, it wasn't that good. All right, that was actually that ending there when I stopped beatboxing, gave it to him, and still continued with the heartbeat. That was actually a good transition. I'm proud of my younger self. That is actually really good. So moving on from beatboxing in high school, going into college, I ended up going out of state, which was kind of a risk. You know, I never thought that I would, but it was super cheap. I went out to Fort Hays, Kansas, and I was in pre-dentistry. I was studying to become a dentist. It was super cheap to go there, like I was saying, and it was a small school, which also I really loved. The class sizes were no bigger than 30, so kind of like my high school, basically. And I really liked that, and I was pretty dead on that I wanted to be somewhere in the dental field. I really liked that profession. My mom was also in the dental field as well, so that definitely had influence on me. And I just really wanted to either be the dentist and own my own business, or something in that field for sure. My first year was awesome. My second year, I became an RA, which was, another kind of thing that I wanted to take on and be this kind of leader. And if you don't know what a RA is, a residential assistant in college, it basically is, I am kind of like that head person on a dorm floor. If you end up living in the dorms, there's at least one person usually on the floor who is making sure no one's doing anything bad or crazy, being stupid college students. And I was that guy, and I loved that position because I had a floor of freshmen when I was a sophomore, and I could relate to them and give and let them know kind of my experiences through my freshman year, what I did that to make sure I studied better, I did better in school and stuff like that. And I really love that position. Along with being an RA, my room and board was paid for. So that covered a huge chunk of what it cost to go to college living. I basically had free living and food too, going to the cafeteria. So that was awesome. I felt like I was on this right track of, getting my undergrad done, getting my bachelor's, and then, moving on into dental school. And I was pretty much set. But going into my second semester of sophomore year, it kind of came all crashing down. It was winter break. I'm back home in Colorado, hanging out with my friends and my family. And I'm just excited to be home. I'm there for a month. It's like a month off. And towards the end of winter break, I have to go back to the college early to get more training for this RA position. And I remember before I left like a couple weeks before I left the first semester, I told my boss, kind of like the hall director, that's what it is. It's been a long time since I've been using these references. I told my hall director that, hey, I'm going to get a D in physics, and I just want to double check and make sure that that's okay, that I'm not going to, my grades are still good enough for me to be an RA, if that's okay. And she said, yeah, you look like it's fine. You're going to be totally fine. Don't worry about it. I was like, perfect. Went off to winter break. They call me the night before I'm supposed to leave to go to Kansas for the, RA training. And they're like, hey, by the way, your grades aren't good enough and you can't be an RA. You're going to have to come up with X number of dollars. I think it was like $4,000 or $5,000 for this next semester for living, because we're not going to cover you anymore because you don't have the position. And I was like, why are you telling me this the night before I'm leaving? It was awful. I feel like they kind of screwed me a little bit, but that's totally fine. It's okay. And, at the time, though, I didn't think it was okay. I was kind of freaking out. So what ended up happening is I didn't go to school that semester. I couldn't come up with that money and attend that semester of school. Then it was so late in that semester that I couldn't enroll into any other school. So there was like a semester plus summer that I had no job or no school. I wasn't going to school at all. So I was a little scared. That following semester, I enrolled into community college just to get into something and try and keep it, somewhat cheap and not spend so much money on school. And the community college thing wasn't working out. I did not like it. It was way different than going to university. And so I was kind of like in this, I'm not even motivated. I do not want to do this anymore. Like I didn't want to finish school. It sucked. It was awful. I felt kind of stuck. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to finish school. I definitely didn't want to work some just like crummy job and maybe, I don't know, do something. I don't know. I really didn't know what I was going to do. It was kind of like this dark place for me. I was pretty lost. I don't know. I just realized that, what, I have nothing to lose. So why don't I just try and, pursue beatboxing for sure. There I was, not going to school, and I didn't have a job. Luckily, I had some pretty supportive parents and for me to really try and see if I can do something with it. And I posted my first video of some beatboxing reactions, and it was really crappy, but the reactions were cool. I didn't really know what I was doing with equipment or anything like that. And so, it was definitely my first YouTube video. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I just wanted to do it. I wanted to just start putting something out there. As I was recording my second one, I ran into this big YouTuber. He had about 1 million subs at this time, and he gave me a shout out. His whole video was just me beatboxing, and he was like, hey, everyone go follow him and everything. I was so stoked to meet him, and then him saying that he's just going to post it and try and get as many people over to my channel to check me out, that I was so excited. It was like I kind of like got an audition to become a YouTuber. And in one day I had 400 subs, the next day I had 5,000, and then the following week I had 10,000. And I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, is this seriously happening? So I just started pumping out videos, learning what I could do to make my videos look better, sound better, and they just got better over time. And I had all of these crazy ideas with beatboxing that I could do, which I still, try to do now. I still try and come up with these innovative ways to beatbox, and it was just, I was killing it for sure. I got 100,000 subs within a year, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And now where I'm at now, I'm sitting at getting close to 400,000 subs, which is close to 500,000 people, and it's absolutely nuts. And I wouldn't be here unless all of those bad things happened, unless, if I didn't lose my RA position, I wouldn't be where I am right now. If I didn't leave that dental job, I wouldn't be where I am right now. If I didn't have all those bad experiences, I wouldn't be doing what I absolutely love as a job. Hopefully my story inspires you in some way, or just to let you know that your life can go in many different directions, and that's not a bad thing. And it can really show you what you really want to do, and show you and let you know that you can do it if you put your mind to it, and if you really, really love it, you have that determination. And I just want you guys to know that I'm just a normal guy, and I had this, I beatboxed when I was a kid, and I loved it, and I thought it was so cool. I never knew that I could make a living doing it, and which is super unconventional. I wasn't just sitting in high school or right when I was practicing beatboxing like, oh, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I wasn't thinking like that. And the moment I did, this is what happened. This is what transpired. These events of me becoming this YouTuber, me doing the other things with beatboxing too that I haven't really talked about in this story. And it's just I just hope that it can show you that no matter what you want to do, if that's really what you love, you should do it, because in this world you probably could and be just fine. If you guys have any questions or concerns about what you want to do, or if you're in that kind of position where you're like, I'm nervous, I don't know what I'm doing, I need some help, or just any questions at all, go for it. Post your questions in the comment section down below, and then be sure to check out the link in my description as well in about 2 weeks, and I will have chosen a few of my favorite questions. And if you're already there at that campaign hub, definitely check out all the other YouTubers and their stories. So definitely leave your questions. Don't be shy. I really want to see what you guys have for me, and I want to share kind of my experience with you, and I'll use some of my life experience to answer your questions in the best way that I can. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and hopefully you enjoyed that video. It was definitely cool to go back and watch some of my old beatboxing videos. That made me laugh. There's actually a lot more I could show you guys, and I might do that in a future video. But thank you for letting me share this story with you guys, and until next time, we'll be seeing you.